Oh my goodness. What a morning it has been. Absolutely insane. Hi. How you doing? Episode 29. Here we are on the other side with me, Paul Carpenter, and it goes something like this. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. I hope that you're doing well, and I hope that wherever you are is doing good for you. Episode 29 of a world record attempt. I've looked it up. I've tried to find it. I have not been able to find someone who's made a single podcast every day with one person, long form, for 365 days. So, here's the challenge. And the challenge, really more so than anything else, believe it or not, is just to even find a guest, let alone have them remember. Maybe they forget. I don't know. There's a million reasons for why, and so it becomes a very heavy thing. Now, as of today, I was supposed to have a friend of mine on, and unfortunately, I reached out to her, and she never got back to me. So I started asking everybody, hey, do you want to be on the show? Hey, do you want to be on the show? Hey, do you want to be on the show? Please, come on the show. And so one gentleman in particular said, yeah, I'll do it. And I'm going to go check on him real quick to see where he's at and then see if he comes in. His name's Mike, and he's got some awesome, super intense conspiracy theories, stuff to do with his life. He's been demonetized. He's been thrown off of all of the social medias. He's even been thrown off of LinkedIn a couple times. He starts creating new accounts. They keep tossing him off. So I want to hear what he's talking about, and I want to hear from him. And he just jumped in, so we're going to have him come in now. Mike Krusell. I don't have a bio. I don't have links to his social, and I only have a couple talking points for this episode, and that's only because Mike is a bit apprehensive of being on the show in the first place. So I just want to say thank you before I even bring him on. Here we go. We're going to bring on Mike now to On the Road with me on the other side. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. And good news. Oh, good news. There he is. There he is. There he is, Mike Krusell. Here we go, dude. This is going to be such an intense episode. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. It's Krusell, by the way, but thanks for having me. Yeah.
Krusell, please forgive me. Please forgive me.
No, you're right.
Yeah, man. Thank you very much for being here. So, if you wouldn't mind, Mike, for those who don't know you, who don't know what's going on, do the fill in. Tell us who you are, where you come from, and what you do.
I'm from Petoskey, born and raised up here, home of the fighting Northmen, and played football, basketball, baseball my whole life. That's the only reason I went to school, and was good in school, but only good in school because of sports. And after smoking pot as a kid, kind of got ostracized and chased out of school here. And it's tough to talk about, man. So I got into drugs. Like, if you would never push somebody, in my opinion, don't push somebody away that's doing something that you don't like. You know what I mean? They're doing something like that because they're not getting love, you know? So they pushed me away, and I got into worse drugs and just hung out with worse people and ended up, I've done things I'm not proud of.
Sure.
To somebody out there, Trump is Grandpa Don. To somebody, he's a pussy-grabbing piece of shit. Where does the circle end and the spiral begin? You know what I mean? So I'm trying to be the change I want to see in the world. And when I went to prison, I started I'd always heard about, sovereignty, but people that talk about it talk retarded, talk about sovereign citizen. And I've said that in old videos. And, a sovereign citizen is an oxymoron. You're either sovereign or you're a citizen. You're not both. You're either a subject or a fucking a ruler. That's it. And a statute and code is not law. It is a fucking order from a sovereign to a subject. International law by L. Oppenheim. He says sovereignty is an attribute of a king in a monarchy and of the people in a democracy. the only way to subject a sovereign is by contract only. The natural law requires that a contract be binding. Natural law is ruling, it's binding all over the globe in all countries at all times. It's superior because it was given to us by God himself, you know. And the first law is to love your neighbors. So everything that we're doing right now is just bullshit. And I don't know, people need to look at Anna Maria Reisinger. Her website's AnnaVonReitz.com. You should put a link in there about that.
What's it called, Mike? What's it called?
Anna VonReitz.com, and her name's Anna Maria Reisinger.
Yeah, but the website. I'm trying to put the website in, so it's Anna what?
Anna.
Yeah.
Von Reitz.
Von Leaps, Leaps.
No, Reitz, REITZ.
See, I would have never gotten that. .com.
Yeah.
All right, putting it in right now. Bam. Boop. There you go.
Yeah. National Liberty Alliance, groups like that.
Let's tag them. I'll tag them in here. Hold on. Let's tag them at National Liberty Alliance.
Oh yeah. And then a YouTube video called War Castles NWO.
I should be asking. I should be asking. You know what, Chris? Could you do me a favor, Chris Spice Knight? If you're here still, could you do a lot of these tags for me? I'm getting her to start producing for me. Could you tag those people? I mean, I wouldn't mind.
I'll come back in and even tag some stuff here, man.
So what was it later on. It was the National what Alliance?
National Liberty Alliance.
National Liberty Alliance. I'll get them. Hold on.
And then on a YouTube, or you just Google it and you can watch or learn about it, because there's a bunch of different episodes. Like your different videos. It's called War Castles NWO, and this guy Russell J. Gould and David Wynn Miller were international businessmen, and they broke down like checking out what made the contracts move between countries, and they started realizing that the language barrier and the because of legalese, lawyers greasing people's palms and fucking each other over, that somebody was getting fucked over big time. And that's why they call our dollar anywhere in the world the petrodollar, because we're Debo, man. We go steal people's oil, we go steal people's heroin, we go steal people's cocaine. We're
called the petrodollar because Nixon taking us off.
You couldn't buy oil anywhere else in the world unless you bought it with American dollar.
Well, yeah, but the reason for that, Mike, is what I'm saying, is that because we got off the gold standard in 69, and now we had to have something to hold the weight of the value.
That's the biggest robbery in history was 1933, when the gold heist, man. When they took the gold, that was the biggest heist in the world. But then to steal, the Vatican and the Rothschilds, they run banking, they own it. And then I could link this other guy to you and some of the stuff. There's he just posted a bunch of where they even have in their tax codes, like where they're exempt because of their banks. Like, why would so you own the bank, so you should be exempt, like, but paying tax on that? Like, it's crazy. Like, it's people, and it's just monopoly money anyway. You know what I mean? It's it's ridiculous, man. So when I learned about what was going on, when he learned about what was going on, he did the same type of stuff. This is where you got to watch the videos and brush up. I need to even when the first thing with Bush happened, with the Gore Bush fiasco with the vote. Supposedly that was because that was when we were actually going into bankruptcy then, and he filed all this legal paperwork to basically take over the corporation. And he copyright, trademark, patented the American flag, and Bush and his henchmen had his troops kidnap this dude when he didn't eat or nothing for, like, I don't know, it was some crazy amount of days, like starving and tortured him. And then some of the troops finally realized what was going on and realized they're like, the Bush is fucked up. Like the CIA, they're satanic, dude. They're satanic as fuck. They're openly satanic. Lieutenant Colonel Aquino, satanic. I mean, go look at the video I just shared. This dude, this is sick, man. He's openly admitting, this rabbi, openly admitting that they chop kids up, put them in Passover shit, and put them in. Listen, I got nothing against
Man,
Jews. You know what I mean?
I would love
But
for
this
you
dude
to
is saying it. This dude is. It's on my page. This dude is openly saying it. You know what I mean? And saying that they feed them they sell them back to McDonald's, and people are eating kids and don't even know it. You know what I mean? He openly saying this, saying he doesn't give a fuck. Another video, I shared another video where like Bill Cooper that got killed. You know, the whistleblower Bill Cooper.
Here's my question though.
All these different whistleblowers. Hold on, all these different whistleblowers. This other guy shared a video where he's straight up saying he's an ex-CIA agent and he's the one that killed him. He's like, I grew up, I was mind controlled. I was in foster care, and I didn't have nobody, and they just, I mean, it's sick, dude. Sick. It's sick. I know from reading what I've read, I know that they are openly worshiping Satan at the top.
So
the majority of people don't even know they are.
Okay, I am in no way disagreeing with you that there's satanic cults and that there's some crazy shit. And we got this artist, what's her name, Maria Abramovich, that does all kinds of crazy, weird art pieces that are with death and blood, and there's people drinking adrenochrome. It's in the news. I know that what you're saying is true. Now, my question here is, because I want to go back to what you said before, because there was so much that you've laid out. How much of the things that you're posting and that you're watching and consuming, how much of the translation from Hebrew to English do you really know? How much
Hebrew to English is phonetically reversed? Yes. Yes. Okay.
I disagree with you, but there's a comment here.
This is why like the dude.
I mean, I speak Hebrew. I speak Hebrew, and if I say hello in Hebrew, it's not going to be hello backwards. It's not as. It's not as. That's not how you say hello in Hebrew.
I mean, I don't speak the language, but I've shared a video where he's showing how he's saying it's phonetically reversed. I've shared a video on it.
I would love.
See, this is the thing. Like, I haven't brushed up on stuff like this, and I don't know enough about that. But I do know that the ancient English language has been so dumbed down, and I know that, like, Dr. Horace had said that for years, that like these ancient languages like Aramaic, Hebrew, Sanskrit, that they there's more power in some of them ancient languages when you speak in them, because we are magicians, and abracadabra means I create as I speak. You're creating as you speak. So like to say good morning to somebody, you're wishing bad on them. You know what I mean? We're casting spells and doing shit that we don't even realize we're doing. Your thoughts do have mass. They do affect reality. So you can think a loving, healing vibe, or you can think a negative vibe. That's it. Here, that's where shit gets real crazy. Okay. That's where I hate even talking about any of this lately, and I didn't want to come on and don't, because as much as I'm suing Biden and I'm talking about all this shit and talking about all these negative things and like trying to expose it, and like Horowitz said, like the same thing, people talk shit about Horowitz for exposing shit, saying he's negative, but he said, listen, you have to shine light on the darkness to cast it out, and then by being positive at the same time, I'm casting darkness, but I'm still being positive. I try to do positive things and smile, help people out. You know what I mean? Do the next right thing, trying to spread it. He says that's like casting a pebble in a pond. Well, okay. If all this is going on and I'm hearing all this crazy shit that, Lieutenant Colonel Aquino will fully admit to do it, Satan. He'll fully admit he is. So, okay, when these people are saying that, openly admit they're doing it, and then like Dr. Anil Seth just is on a TED Talk saying that our subconscious mind hallucinates our conscious reality. So hold on. I'm doing this to myself. I'm doing this to you. I'm a schizophrenic and I'm talking to myself right now. What the fuck? What's really going on? Why would I be doing this? Like I want people over in Syria to get fucking bombed out. Like I want fucking people in Africa to be starved out. I got friends over there sending me pictures of people fucking dying, fucked up, getting, tortured for minerals. Like I want people to be starved out in Ukraine or anywhere else. Come on. I got friends in the world everywhere, man. Why would I want that? I don't.
Right.
I love you. I love
I
people of all
don't
colors, of
think,
all races.
so I don't think anybody wants any of the things that are happening, right? The rest of us are the ones that are the unfortunate transgressors of the money that pushes us to do, because we're the ones that chase after it for the survival, for the comfort, for the be able to have a gated community around me. I'm willing to do certain things and I've talked about that many times. Now that's an unfortunate fact of the world that we live in.
But that's
What I,
what
don't please, Mike. I want to make this good. So because we're doing really well, and Greg's saying some great things, and I want to put you up to like all the positivity that people are coming in and saying. So Greg says there are weirdo elites, but the rabbi video, and mind you, Greg speaks Hebrew and understands it very well. He lives in Israel. He says the rabbi video is not what it seems. It's the rabbi responding sarcastically to the blood libel. He says, no, bro, learn cuneiform. And then he says, wait, that you're saying something about facts. And I think that's when you were talking about, Biden and all the other stuff that was going on, that you were mentioning about how people are coming in and doing all these negative things in the system. And this is why we have the system the way we do. And I've been trying to express to people that I feel like the reason this is happening is because it's the deterioration of the American values, not necessarily a Protestant value, but a no God value. Taking away God out of the idea of the United States breaks down the United States. And the reason for that is because God usually comes from some form of religion. And that's why we say we have religious freedom in this country. Because as long as you have a God in your heart, then you have something in your mind that is, on some level, watching what you do, caring about how you are caring to others, wanting to see you be the best version that you can be. All these ideas, right?
But and then again, here, like, this is where I get twisted with why is like. I really lately, I hate even talking about aliens. I hate talking about any of this shit, even though, bro, I have seen a girl that I've known since high school start to shapeshift into reptilian, and other people saw it. My brother's Department of Defense, military. Like, okay, I got documents on UFOs now. I don't care why I even talk about that, though, when I've read esoteric books and I've read also, and even, I just saw a Nova episode that was even old from like 2019 where they, I think it was, where, I'm pretty sure they said that these people won the Nobel, even saying that because of the dual slit experiment and quantum entanglement, that they prove we're in a matrix. That you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay, so if in all the esoteric books that I read that were written 1800s or prior say that same type of shit, that this is the Maya, this is the illusion. So why am I doing this? Like, again, why would I be? Why am I doing this?
I believe, and I'm just giving you my belief of what I've read and the things I understand. I believe that we're in the game, i.e. this world, i.e. this universe, this thing that we're in, for our own lesson and remembering what it is to be human. Because in the future, we're connected to these computers, we're biomechanical beings, we're not humans anymore. We're not what we are now, which is actually precious and beautiful and soft and gentle and also creative and destructive. And we are this quantum crazy piece of thing, each one of us. With a billion neural processes in our brain that are 14.5 billion light years in space and time within our own brain, each one of us. And so that in itself is the beauty. And the more that we change it and connect to technology, the more that we forget what it's like to be connected to God. And so we start to create our other universe to live within that universe so that we can remember what it's like to be human again. And it's a cycle that keeps continuing infinitely as we go back to nothing and then start all over again. and we become the creators, we become the gods, we become the creators of our own universes, and in essence our life becomes our own book, our own story, our own universe, our own, however we paint. Like, think of like Dr. Seuss, or like I like to say,
so that's saying I'm a real fucked up motherfucker, that I want to be thinking about all this pain and suffering, you know what I mean? Like
no, I think that,
or I must think I'm super daddy and I'm gonna fucking save the world, you know?
No, I don't think that what it comes down to, I think, is maybe two things. One, you're a soft human being that's been hurt in the past by others, and you see the pain in others, and now you're more empathetic to the pain that you see. And you're more empathetic and want to do something about it. That's the first effort. And I see that in you. And then the second part of it would be more of, yeah, but the second part would be more of you're trying to fill in the gaps of the misinformation, because there's so much misinformation, and unfortunately you may sometimes acquire things that direct you in a path that's not necessarily the absolute truth. Now, I'm not saying that there isn't, once again, I'm not saying that there isn't rabbis. Hold on. I'm not saying that there aren't fanatical rabbis out there that are proselytizing some crazy shit. And there are also some other rabbis that are proselytizing that the Messiah has arrived already. And there's other messiahs that are talking about the red calf, and so on and so forth. So hold on. What I'm getting at is that in today's age, you can create almost any kind of information you want that is connected to something in the past, and people will connect to it and say, yeah, he's right. Oh my God, look, this is true.
When I know that type of shit is going on now, and dudes admitting it, fuck you, it's real, man. That shit is real. I don't give a fuck what anybody's saying. And to put it out there even more, they're doing the shit at the Vatican too. It's not like I'm fucking, singling out the Jews here, dude. You know what I mean? I grew up Catholic.
No. Look at the movie. Look at the movie that was Zeitgeist, and then the subsequent, when the movie got a lot of backlash, the guy made a couple more movies, right? And in those other movies, he shows things that, like, man, look at the pine cone, the pineal gland concept thing that's on the top of the Pope. He's holding this staff, and at the top of the staff, there's a cone that is gold, that is a pine cone. Inside the Vatican, there is a statue of a pine cone. This pine cone is representative of the pineal gland, which is the center of the brain. If you cut perfectly in the middle of your brain, horizontally and vertically, you reach the middle of your brain, and right there is a thing called the pineal gland, which excretes what's called dimethyltryptamine, and it excretes massive amounts at the beginning of your life and at the end of your life, and it secretes little amounts every night when you have, quote unquote, what are called realistic dreams or lucid dreams. Let's go down here to the comments. It says, we are living in a simulation, very high possibility. Yes, mathematically, when you do it, the chances that we're in a simulation, that this is not, call it level one, like the first level, is by far more true than it's not.
Professor Gates found computer code in string theory. He said, I think it was some African American Professor Gates. I think at UCLA or something like that. I can't remember. You've never heard that before?
Yeah, I've seen a professor who says that when he looked at the absolute numbers of the universe, it came down to look the same as what we create when we created the web, like the internet, and how the nodes are all connected to each other, and everything in the end is connected to some form of something that all connects to each other. And it's this crazy mathematical thing, and I've tried bringing it up. There's something called, there's something called, what's it called? It's inside the Mandelbrot set. I've brought it up many times. It's a YouTube channel called Veritasium, and it's a video that's called "This Number Will Change the Way You Look at the World." But within that, there's a number that's 4.699, and it's called the Feigenbaum constant. And it's this thing that shows that within the ripples of what we would consider a fractal of math is the Feinberg constant over and over and over and over and over and over again. And so,
and for anybody, go look at it's Dan Winter's fractal field or whatever. It's Dan Winter. Dan Winter's fractal field. He's got some crazy stuff. He's got then there's a website called I want to get hold of this dude. He's got a site called like Flame in the Mind or something like that. And like, I don't know if anybody's familiar with Caroline Corey. She's on History Channel and stuff like that. And she's got a documentary called The Invisible World Made Visible or something like that, where kids are like double blind. Like they'd be blind and then wearing a blindfold. And then kids could still read. They could draw pictures, do all type of stuff.
What was that one called? What was that called just now?
Flame in the Mind. It's something like that. Flameinthemind.com or something like that. It's you can find it through looking for Dan Winter. They do like EEGs or whatever on they do some, I don't know if it's an MRI or something on their brain, and they can see like basically like the third eye, like the brain patterns completely change, where it's like they're using like a sonar type of thing. You know what I mean? It's crazy. And he says that he could teach anybody how to do it from what I remember reading. And this was years ago that I read it. But again, for anybody too that, it's crazy that we're trying to get tricked into, and it sucks that they're spraying on us and doing all type of shit. Like my brother even worked at AT&T. There's a lawsuit against AT&T right now for look at targeted justice. There's a $1.6 trillion lawsuit on Merrick Garland for targeting individuals with voice to skull, remote neural monitoring, gang stalking. And my brother worked there, you know what I mean? And my brother's Department of Defense, my brother's military intelligence. He was biometric specialist. He's University of Michigan computer engineer. I mean, so he's doing shit like that. It's him doing it, I'm sure it is. It's sick, to me, that's where it gets fucked up. You know what I mean? That it's literally like I've been tagging guys that grew up with, like, dude, this is us doing it to each other at this point. You know what I mean? Like, I'm suing Biden and these people for making unilateral decisions and treating us like slaves. And you're helping them keep us slaves, bro. You're fighting your own brother and homeboy, dude. Like, I'm linking pictures.
Remember how I said earlier that anybody who makes $250,000 a year and more are people who are towing the line, and that's what you're trying to explain right now, right? I think it's what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, like, dude, I had a lawsuit on our, it started out talking about just, you fucked me up. I was in your jail. You fucked me up. And big deal. Like, I had a little bit of drugs, dude. And I'll admit it. Like, because I had a lawyer. Okay, my cousin was a lawyer for the mob. My cousin Mike Kovaleski was America's Most Wanted. And Emmett County killed him too, said he was crazy and drugged him up. And I literally told the news years ago, if you don't run a story on me, cops are going to kill me or lock me up and say I'm crazy. This is exactly what the fuck they did. I mean, right now they got a probate order on me saying I'm special ed, that I'm fucking delusional. Say I'm delusional or belief I'm blind in my eye. I don't know. It's kind of dull in here, but if you can see, I got pictures online. I'm completely blind in that eye. University of Michigan surgically assaulted me. And again, I hate U of M. I'm wearing this shit. I'll explain. Got my Michigan State blanket right here. I'll represent that. You know what I mean? Michigan State, fuck. Yeah, I got my Michigan State blanket. But my family all went, a bunch of them went to Michigan. My brother, my cousin, Willie Krusell, his dad, Wilbur Krusell, his brother, David Krusell, Pootie. Pootie was a lawyer for the mob with Mike. Mike was older, paid for him to go to law school. And anyway, Yes. So when I first started suing, Mike had hooked me up. Uh, Another lawyer friend that I used to sell drugs to told me about this lawyer in Detroit she was friends with. Eminem got sued by this dude. Eminem talked shit about him. Fuck Fred Gibson. I used to talk to Fred all the time. And he helped me out, introduced me to a lawyer in Grand Rapids. And they both really, mentored me along the way, gave me a lot of good advice. And um, they said, dude, they're gonna challenge you on the fact that they're gonna think you're gonna lie about their drugs, dude. I'm like, well, fuck that. I said, it's not a crime, you know what I mean? They beat my ass. Like, that's a crime, you know what I mean? Fucking, it's not a crime for me to do drugs. It's a crime for them to assault me. So fucking, I just admitted it in the deposition. I said, fuck it. Yeah, I did it. Okay, you beat my ass. That's still a crime. You had no reason. If you were so afraid of me, why did you take me off camera? Why did you bring me in the hallway off camera? Why was there fucking 5 deputies? Why didn't you handcuff me while I was on camera if you were so afraid of me? Why did you bring me off camera and fuck me up, tase me? You know what I mean? And it's an international war crime to use a taser. People are so retarded. Your sheriff's using a taser. It's a violation of the International Convention on Torture. Like, make that make sense. But I'm crazy? You know what I mean? Unreal. Uh, so, so when I did that, then they came back saying that they were sovereign. They had sovereign immunity. And I said, I'm suing you personally and professionally. You're not sovereign. I'm sovereign. I'm the master. That's, you got twisted. And they wanted me to come back for a second deposition. And that's when I said no. Because the only time you have to, there was like two, I can't even remember right now, but there was only like 2 reasons it would fit why I would have had to come back. Or I used the excuse, like, it basically fit in the same, like, if you were, if, I was saying I'm in debtor's prison.
Yeah,
So I'm in
but
debtor's
my
prison right
question
now.
is, why not go
Are you?
back? Was it costing you money to do
Yeah,
the
fuck that. It
deposition?
was costing me money. I'm not gonna come. I'm not your. Because this is what I said to him. I'm not your nigger. I'm not gonna come at your beck and call. I told you my fucking story, and it's not gonna change, dude. You know what I mean? Don't fucking. I'm not your fucking bitch, dude. Don't call me like that, man. Fucking. I told you my story. That's it. It didn't change. I laid down the facts of the case. You didn't dispute it. I could have disputed it any other way. There was no other need for a deposition. I'm not driving back and forth. Are you paying my bills? Are you paying my, you paying my gas? Are you paying my housing, my food? Because otherwise, no, dude. I'm not going to keep you. How could I do that every day then? So you could call me back every day after day, and I can't work. I can't do nothing. No, dude. I told you my story. It's not changing. So my whole point of it was
Right.
because of
So
exactly what I was saying is that they're treating us like slaves. We're Sestra Kavi trust bond slaves. And I was saying, I'm in a debtor's prison. Set us sue juris. I said, the U.S. is incorporated. It's a British Crown government service corporation. The Federal Reserve is owned by the Rothschilds of Vatican. Set us sue juris. We're done being subjugated as U.S. incorporated bond slaves in a debtor's prison, debtor's society where money's not with the fucking paper it's printed on. Share the alien technology you're hiding. Share the cures. Share the truth. Make us equal. God put us here to live in love for free of caste, usury, and bondage for all. Love has no borders or boundaries. Period. Share it. You know what I mean? You got it. You're making the disease. You made AIDS. Kennedy's right. You made AIDS. House Bill 15090. You put it in smallpox and hepatitis B vaccines. That's a fact. You know what I mean? I got documents to prove it. You're committing war crimes.
no,
These people are. I have the
everything
full
you said.
contact on dark and mold dice shit. These people
Look,
have the
everything
full.
you just said over the last little space was totally true. Everything's true. AIDS was produced. So was COVID. We know that COVID was produced. This is true stuff. We're not lying. You can show the documents.
I have the CIA lab, the China lab, CIA documents. I got the DARPA made mold dice, the whole lab contract. I mean, that's a death sentence for these people, man. Unreal. I have the whole Biden classified intel report, and I've had this stuff for years. I got stuff on the Roswell. Anybody look at the book, Life with a Cosmos Clearance by Daniel M. Salter. She's got so much different stuff in there. Bill Cooper's book, Milton William Cooper's book, Behold the Pale Horse. Just between those 2 books, they'll give you so much different information about secret societies, about our government, leaders, different people all being together, definitely being satanic, I mean, the Statue of Liberty. Look up Mark Dice. This was on History Channel. It represents Lucifer, Here's a New York Times, direct quote, and I'll remember this directly. I said, the CIA's infiltration into white witchcraft cults throughout North America, introduced blood sacrifice into their rituals, expanding into Satanism. That's a quote from a New York Times book that I guarantee is an exact quote that's in one of these books that I got in here. And it was, I think that one was in an Access Denied book. Look up, I shared her information too, Kathy O'Brien. She was went to Muskegon Catholic Central High School, I believe it was. One of them Catholic schools in Muskegon, and we did all type of shit about satanic pedophile shit. And John Benet Ramsey, even their dad, this is crazy. They said that there's a CIA, because I'm up here, I'm right by Beaver Island. They say that there's a CIA mind control thing on Beaver Island. They say that there's receipts between her dad or somebody involved in Kathy O'Brien's case, and there's a receipt that shows that her dad went there with John Benet's dad. And John Benet's family, like my ex-fiance used to babysit John Benet Ramsey. There's a Lieutenant Colonel Aquino. Yeah, dude, I got so many crazy. Dude, the guy that started to teach me law, Bob Ross, is the painter from the painter from PBS. Bob Ross. That's dude. His nephew was the one that started teaching me law in prison. Yeah, dude. There's so many crazy connections, dude. I've been to Windermere, Ernest Hemingway's cottage. I mean, my dad's friends with Ken Mainland, fucking Kroger Mainland family. It's crazy, dude. The connections and shit I have are absolutely fucking. That's what I'm saying. This is obviously some type of weird matrix. I don't know why I can't start controlling it and making it better for you guys yet, but I'm working on it. I'm working on my manifesting abilities.
I mean, I think a lot of it is, if you don't mind, could you mute yourself whenever I talk, because it starts reverbing. Can you push the mute button on your end?
Push the mute?
Yeah, it's usually top right.
Oh my god!
If not, don't worry about it. I want to. Man, we just kicked him off. I didn't mean to do that. I'll bring him back. Hold on. I didn't mean to do that to you, man. Yeah, on the right-hand side right here, there's a camera, and I try to mute myself whenever I talk or whenever I'm not talking, because I can hear the reverb, and I don't want everybody who's watching to not be able to watch, Sorry about that, Mike. I didn't mean to make you kick yourself off. I'm trying to add you back on. There you are. Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know if you can see it, but on the top right, over here, there should be a camera, a microphone, and then if you just touch the mic, it won't reverb when I talk.
I did it. I can't.
Then don't worry about it, Mike. Don't worry about it. I'll just keep kicking my mic off, or maybe turn your phone down a little bit.
That's what I just tried to do. Is that better?
I have to turn my mic on to find out. Yeah. But yeah, that sounds a lot better. The reverb is a lot lower, but I'll keep hitting my mic my mic anyways. But let's get into this, if you wouldn't mind. Could you give me a little bit of info on more of your childhood, and what did your mom and dad do? How did you get this life of all these connections and all these weird people in your life?
So yeah, my family history is crazy as hell. And this is where I feel like everything that I've read too, there is karma, and there is a circle of life, and I want it to be a spiral instead of, because this is crazy. I feel like I'm definitely paying for sins of forefathers. If Africans got their surname from their masters here, my McGee side of my family was the largest landowners of Missouri at one time and the first slave owners in Missouri. And their lineage is traced back real far. I haven't even read it, but it's crazy history. People in my family were bankers and lawyers and owned senators, and fought with Washington and at the Alamo and all these major places. Tinley's, Duckworth's, bunch of them give parks away in Council Bluffs area. I got a lot of family, Council Bluffs and Des Moines. And then my mom was raised in Troy, Michigan. My grandpa Don was ex-military, and then he was an engineer, and he was an inventor. He invented some like over the road Leaf Spring was he had money from that and doing other like he was an engineer for Chrysler and for I think Pepsi. Did like he's got some other patents and then uh, yeah, she had a rough life. Kind of like her mom was kind of rough to her, and that's probably why hasn't been super motherly to me. But my dad was abusive to my mom and abusive to us, and fucking my dad was a mechanic. I, grew up. The older brother who was dorky had Coke bottle glasses. I was a jock, but good. I don't know. I had a little sister. There was a half sister, my sister. You know what I mean? My mom cheated on my dad and left, and I don't blame her. I mean, he was an asshole, still is, but we all can be. And yeah, after she left, it was really shitty. But I hated going to her house too because I didn't like my stepdad, and that's where the story gets deep too. Because I always thought I'd be just happy when my stepdad died, man. But at his funeral, I realized that I related more to him than my dad. Like, I've been the guy that slept with somebody's wife, been the guy that's done drugs and fucked somebody over. And, he did all that, but he would admit it and he would apologize for it. And that's shit that I've never heard my dad say sorry my whole life. He'll deny that like that's why right now to get called delusional, it's like the biggest slap in the face. He used to hit my brother, hit my mom, hit me, and then had everybody in town convinced my mom was fucking crazy and a whore, and now the neighbors mow the lawn. Awesome. Uh, yeah. Uh,
Yeah, I mean, I hear you, Mike, and I feel you for all the pain that you've been through. But uh, like as you're growing up, where do the connections to kind of like the people who are kind of in this other world that you're talking about, where do they start kind of connecting to your life, and when do you start kind of interacting? I know maybe you didn't even want to, or you didn't even know about it, but it was just happening. Like,
I, I've had people like that in my life forever. That like for the Mike, my cousin Kovaleski. My family didn't let me meet him forever, and then when I finally, when I started getting in trouble, like my grandpa was the head of Veterans Affairs here forever. Like I've had, like my cousin right now is the mayor, Petoskey, John Murphy. Like, so when and my cousin, even though I was at the jail, I was suing her, Brenda Ford. Her dad, Don Krusell, was like one of my favorite cousins. Loved the guy. Drank beer with him when I was a little kid at his hunting cabin. Saw the first pair of titties there. He's like, show the boy your titties. He's old now. Let him see them. Yeah. His buddy was a fire marshal downstate, and he'd confiscate everybody's fireworks and bring them up to the fire cabin. And I'm like third grade. He's giving me fireworks. I'm giving me beer. Hey, go out and light them off. Go down the driveway and light them off. I got trolled like Daniel Bart's at a handicapped friend, and now he's an ACO lawyer out in Oregon or so. He told me. The next day of school, I forgot that I had it. And he saw me when I opened my bag. I heard him close it. He told him, and thank God the principal, like I'm saying, this is how connected my dad is. And back in the 80s, they called my dad Doug, you know what I mean? Your son's got a bunch of fireworks and all type of shit in his backpack. Like, what the fuck? He's like, come get him, get out of here. But, yeah, I don't know. The connections to different people have always been there. I just didn't. When I started getting in trouble, I told my grandpa, like, sorry, I'm getting in trouble and I'm bringing bad on your name. And he's like, oh, you're not black sheep, your cousin Mike is. What? Then I started learning, that's what, just little connections have always been there. My family, I grew up poor. I grew up in a trailer. I've worked for every fucking thing I got. People think I'm spoiled because my dad's a mechanic and I drove a nice car. Sometimes I grew up, like, my first car is a piece of shit. Volkswagen turbo diesel with no turbo. He's like, try to get a speeding ticket and that you'll be going downhill with the window at your back. But yeah, I've had a couple of nice cars, but I got a Mercedes. My first one broke down. I traded my Volkswagen Jetta running car for this broke down Mercedes at a huge bill. I'm like, yo, bro, like I'll give you my car, title for title. I'm gonna have to, put the same amount of money, time into it that you're gonna, you know what I mean? But I rode a bike for like 3 months, saving up the money and trying to get my dad to help me do the work, you know what I mean? So I've never been spoiled. I've worked like a slave, and that's why I got into selling drugs, is because I didn't make money, you know what I mean? I want money. I wanted shit. But it's funny, like I said too, like I've posted this a few different places recently. This is one of the deepest things. I mean, like, we're all searching for this hustle. You know, my whole life I was searching for this hustle to get on, and then I finally came to this realization, like the biggest hustle is just the love, man. Like if we all loved each other and cooperated, like we're spinning our wheels for nothing right now. You know what I mean? Because when you're the word capitalism, we're all like we're programmed into thinking communism's bad. What's wrong about fucking being in a commune with your neighbor and fucking caring about your neighbor? We've never had true communal like living. And one, I should find this paper. I took a Celtic nature class with Seamus Norgard at North Central Michigan College here, and he's still there. There was one egalitarian society that the Romans came upon.
Get a freeze in there. Just temporary.
Yeah, I'm doing a podcast right now.
Huh?
I'm on a podcast right now. Can I talk to you later? I'm sorry. Yeah, it was
I can't talk, sir. I'm on a podcast.
Yeah, the neighbor tried to come over and see. I'm staying with the old Marine sergeant right now. Does Petoskey Stones, so he gets a lot of people. He's a cool guy, but yeah, I lost total track of thought right there. Even
Yeah, basically, you were just on that last bit of like how people were connected in your life, and I guess my next question is like, what leads to like the next steps? Like you're now a bit older, you're now out of college. What is the first moves in life? What's your thing? What are you trying to go for?
Here's okay. So yeah, let me get back to that. Besides the lawsuit, and this is really pissed me off. At the same time, of the lawsuit, I had a dispensary brokering deal set up because I got a friend that's ex-Navy, or friend that we're not so close anymore, but he used to grow really good weed. I'm sure he still does down in Bay City, and we were talking, and a bunch of times he'd have extras, and I'm like, bro, what? Why aren't you selling to the dispensary, dude? Why aren't you like, what the fuck? And he's like, because they won't. This is back before it was completely legal here. It was a gray area. So he's like, they won't trust me. They won't sell to me. So I happened to be at the dispensary, and this is years ago, and I was more like, now I wouldn't hit you if you hit me, but I've fought before, and so I almost got into it with the Stewart dispensary, and one of the dudes came up and like broke it up, and we started chopping it up about different people we know, and he's like, yo, bro, just chill. He's like, I got you. And he tells me that like he handles bribes around there or whatever. And then I see a kid come up and show him some herb. And he's like, oh, bro. He's like, you grew that? And he's like, oh, I'm going to get you rich. And I was like, yo, bro, what? I'm like, it's like that? And he goes, his buddy is like, what do you mean? I said, listen, bro, I ain't trying to step on your toes or nothing. But I said, my homeboy will put that shit to shame, dude. That's garbage, dude. Like, fucking. He's like, bring that shit by then. And he goes, bring him by. And I go, no, I'll bring it by. And he goes, yeah, don't worry, you eat too. And I'm like, damn right, I'm going to eat. So I went and talked to my homeboy, and I'm like, yo, why aren't you selling to him, bro? Because I could plug it in. So he's like, I'm like, what will you give me pounds for? And he's saying at his level, even growing, it only cost him $180 a pound to grow. I could have sold to the dispensary $2,500 to $3,500, $1,000 at a time. You know what I mean? That's money hand over fist. So I was going to put all that money into a trust account and open geothermal greenhouses to grow organic citrus, cannabis, and herbs and veggies for anybody that wants to come help me grow, expand, live, and love, free of monopoly money. And who wouldn't want that? Then you see, if I got all this money coming into this account and we're just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and we all got the best medicine, because for anybody else watching too, the NCBI website that the doctors should use and should know about, the number one thing for superbugs antibacterial, antifungal is essential oils. They call them essential oils for a reason. You know what I mean? Vital amines, vitamins. They call them vital amines for a reason. They're vital for you. You know what I mean? That type of shit. Dr. Sebi diet, shit like a soursop, shit like that. You know, heals cancer. Rick Simpson oil heals cancer. I mean, the government's hiding shit from you. You know what I mean? Post electromagnetic frequency. Tesla talked about shit like that. And that's where I was going earlier too with the talking about never having a true form. When he walked up, I was talking about never having a true form of communal living. You know, they talk about communism and scare us into thinking capitalism is good. If you're capitalist, you're capitalizing on your neighbor. That's what you're doing. When you're hustling something off instead of sharing, communing with them, you're capitalizing on them. So you're capitalizing on their either lack of intelligence or lack of strength, whatever. How is that good? Why is that good? That's not good. Why would that be better than being in a true form of communal living? And this is where it gets weird too. All positive ions from pharmaceuticals is a poison to a human being. All nature is a negative ion. So if we're in a commune producing negative ion, that's a compound word, a communion, and it's an at-one-ment, an atonement, an at-one-ment with ourselves, with nature, with our creator, at one-ment, with the universe in one song. You know, that's the type of shit I feel like we need to do forever. I think we've been needing to do. It would, you know, if one of us, if our thoughts affect reality and we can, you know, manifest, then if we're all in a community doing that and spreading love and healing vibes instead of producing toxic shit at McDonald's and, you know, I mean, for real, what are you doing? You're taking monopoly money to go make poison to kill instead of being in a community, loving each other, being rich. Like, I don't know, make that make sense. You can't hear?
No. I'm actually quite the opposite. I'm telling people, listen to what he's saying. Now, if you don't mind, I want to read to you some of the comments here. Chris comes in and she says, you know, I was a nurse and I loved working in mental health. My patients' stories were real and opened my eyes further to the policy and corruption. I understand the guest and where he's coming from. He's keeping it 100. Another guest, another person here says, Curtis says, hey, buddy, I love you and I love you too, Curtis. Then my friend says, Sci-Fly, he comes in and says, good morning, Kings. Keep up these good talks going. Keep up the good works. Keep making the snowflakes and keep shaking the globe. Just keep on, as we know, and the rest will follow. And then I wrote down NCBI. And then he goes, I too am a war veteran and don't mean to make light of our military armed forces. The war on drugs was and still is very harmful, capitalist, and inhumane. Leash they fought to put on us only to close continuously. Keep fighting the good fight. So everybody's on your side is what we're saying here.
Listen, and that's why they didn't take me to trial, bro. Listen, that's why they didn't take me to trial. After they surgically assaulted me, at U of M, man, they literally in 2020 said that I was delusional after they surgically assaulted me. Like, I walked in, I know my rights. So again, this is how you should announce your rights to anybody. UCC 1-308 means you know and you reserve all your rights. And then next, when you write your name, like, I'm not sure what a queen would say, but I'm a king. So I put Rex in capital letters, R-E-X. Then I put a dash, capital M, lowercase for the rest of my name, Michael, all out. And I'm just normal English. I'm not cursive. That is my signature for the government for anywhere. Then capital, another dash, capital J, lowercase A, M, you know, James. Then colon, capital K, lowercase the rest. And that is how you write a name. When they and that's announcing you have the international right, universal right of self-declaration of your political status. I tell you who the fuck I am. You can't tell me who I am. You can't say you own me, that I'm your subject. I have to follow your orders. No, dude. And I share videos on my thing for anybody that show you. There's dudes crossing borders right now. Where there's a dude crossing the border. You telling the cop, what is this, Nazi Germany? You know what I mean? don't have to give you idea. What's your suspicion? I'm not American. You know what I mean? Why would it make you think I'm an alien? Like, what does it matter? Like, you have a right to travel. You have an international right to travel. People just need to stand for their rights and let these clowns know, who are you working for, bro? Who do you work for? Like, don't get it twisted, man. I just told some kids that last night, tried to put these people up. I'm like, dude, let a cop know, bro. Who is he, a public servant? You're his master then. Don't get it twisted, man. If you're not committing a crime is violent or breaking a contract. If you're not doing one of those, leave me alone, bro. I'm about to push, like, for real, I can't even make a live video. This is like, well, I did this because I can't even make a live video. I can't. I'm being on Twitter, LinkedIn, everywhere else. I mean, so I walked in. Let me finish this. I walked into U of M and I said, UCC 1-3 away. You know, Mike said, I know my rights. So I said, I'm not entering into a contract with you. I'm asking you, will you provide treatments that I know are available, like Dr. Sebi Diet, Scalar Energy, Royal Rife, you know, transdermal ozone, pulsed electromagnetic frequency. I mean, I went off. They said, yeah, we can do that. My mom and my buddy John Cavanis were there, and they leave. I had enough alkaline and food, water with me that I could have made it down to. I was trying to get to the biologics center down in St. Louis, Missouri, or in Tennessee, and they said they could do it though. So after my mom and everybody leave, I tried to test them, and I was running low on food and water. So I said, "Can I get some alkaline stuff?" And they were like, "We don't got it." And I said, "So you think? Hold on, I'm in U of M. I just asked you if you could do that. You said yes, but now I'm in U of M. You're saying this is the best hospital in the country, and you're trying to give me fucking fluoride and chlorine and shit. Dude, those are poisons, bro. I don't care what the FDA says about its recommended daily dose. It's fucking poison, dude. There ain't no safe dose of poison, bro. I don't want no safe dose of poison, bro. Like, get out of here. Like, that's crazy, bro. What are you talking about? It makes no sense. Fluoride's a poison. Yeah, I'm gonna fuck. The Nazis use chlorine, right, to kill people. Like, you guys are retards, dude. No, I don't want that. You're supposed to be the best hospital in the country, and then you just like me. I gotta go. They said you can't leave. You're not free to go. And I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? And I got nurses around my Facebook. I was making videos, and nurses are like, dude, tell me what an AMA form. So I'm like, give me an AMA form. They're like, you can't sign it. I'm like, what? You mean? They're like, you're too incompetent. I said, if I knew to ask for it, how can you say I'm too incompetent? You know what I mean? Let me sign that motherfucker and get out of my way. They put guards at my door, stopped me, surgically assaulted me, then came back, and I had told them anyway. I said, listen, I had told them, like, here's more guns. I said, I got fucking fungal infection from more guns. I said, you're going to, they kept telling them, do not give me an antibiotic, because an antibiotic will make a fungal infection stronger. They did. It made me go blind. Then they did that surgery, and then the doctor, one of the doctors came back, and he's like, dude, he's like, you're right. He's like, the culture came back. He's like, it's fungal. He's like, you're right about it. I started looking at my microscope, looking at the shit. Like, I share videos on there about the shit. I mean, Harold Kautzvella, look at Harold Kautzvella, look at Carl Schwartz, the nanotech exec. DARPA made Morgellons disease. I can absolutely prove it. There's other people that they've called crazy, where they're in their eye. There's lots of people. Anybody who has Lyme disease, it's like basically progressions of AIDS, HIV. Anybody who has Morgellons disease symptoms, you guaranteed have Lyme disease. 100%, 100,000%. Not everybody that has Lyme disease shows signs or symptoms of Morgellons. I guarantee that's the same condition, dude. Because the other thing I'm going to tell people too, if anybody's suffering with Morgellons and having the shit coming out of them, I guarantee this is just logical thinking, and I put the rest together, so I guarantee this is right. The Lyme disease comes from the Spirochetia bacteria or whatever. I don't know how to pronounce it, but Spirochetia, and I'm sure they call it that because when you look at it, it's got a spiral to it. So it's in there at a spiral. It corkscrews in. If you just gently rub your skin the other direction, counterclockwise, and like use like an exfoliant thing, take baths with Epsom salt if you can, baking soda, Epsom salt, borax. People should do that every night, and then use like some Castile soap. Use an exfoliating shower scrub thing. Just scrub your skin and just gently do counterclockwise motions, and this stuff will just come out instead of having to pick at it, and then use lots of coconut oil, and then add other essential oils to it. That, like I said, they're the best things for antifungal, antibiotic, and the coconut oil helps the essential oils absorb deeper into your skin.
So I don't even know what it is that you're talking about. It's called Morgellons disease.
MOR, yeah, Joni Mitchell has it. Look it up. MORGELLONS. DARPA made it. It's a fungal nanotech virus from DARPA. I have the whole contract. Carly LeBrun was a DARPA agent. They killed her for exposing this shit. I have the whole contract for it. I shared it online. Yeah, it's crazy. So I had this stuff in my eye. I had it everywhere. It's come out of me everywhere, different times, and like super crazy. Like, so at U of M, after they did that, I was like talking like, I'm gonna sue you, right? So then they're like, we're gonna move you to mental health floor, and I'm like, what? And they started saying that they had filed petitions. Multiple doctors, they filed petitions, and they in their petition say that I'm delusional over nanotechnology, even like in 2020. Like, hold on, what? I was like, dude, are you fucking kidding me? You know how many patents are on nanotechnology? What the fuck are you talking about? They've been spraying, admittedly, T4 nanobots on your food since 2006. They've admitted that they've done that since 2006. The FDA admitted, and if they've admitted it, they've been doing it a lot longer. So, come on, dude. What are you talking about? And this is all on public record. Then, denied a jury trial, denied independent psych eval, denied witnesses, denied everything. They, okay, anybody who doesn't even believe any of this fringe stuff about, Cyrus Parser, about fucking Harold Kautzvella, you know what I mean? You just want to believe a college, then go look up for the woman who says she's a nurse at the mental health. Tell them to look this up. Oklahoma State University, Dr. Randy Wymore, 100% guarantees red, black, blue, white, green fibers are coming out of people's skin, black sesame seed looking shit, and crystals. 100% guarantees this really has for years. I had that information at the time I could have provided. Dr. Laura Hirschbeiner, the head psych at U of M, testified under oath that Morgellons disease was an absolute psychotic delusion of mine, and psychotic delusion of mine that I was suicidal, homicidal, and that I was gonna, I had a gun, I was sticking things in my eye, whatever, I was gonna hurt somebody, and so they started drugging me up. And then this is the funniest part. So since they get the order, and I'm like, fuck, I gotta be here for a minute anyway, like, denied all my rights, like, all right, I don't want to take these drugs, so I'm like, all right, just don't shoot me up, like, I'll fucking take it, right? So I'd cheat these drugs forever, and they'd fucking come in, and Dr. M was one of them, Dr. Zimmerman, and Dr. Hirschmeyer. I can't remember. There's so many of them, but no, I can't get a hold of none of these people, too. Can't get a hold of none of these doctors. Have tortured me along the way. I've showed people recordings where I try to call the prisons or call different places, and they say they don't know these people, and it's fucking crazy. They come in, they interview me a bunch of times, and they're like, listen, Mike, after a while, they're like, I know you don't want to be on this stuff. You don't think you need it, but, this stuff's really working, dude. And I'm like, why is that, dude? What do you mean? I said, dude, you're just so much more together, so much more organized. Your thoughts are so much more concise. And I'm like, really? I said, are you writing that shit all down? I said, make sure you put that all in notation. I said, because you guys are about to look stupid as fuck, man. And he's like, why? I said, just make sure you put all that. I said, I don't want that shit written down. So then a couple days go by, and I kept asking him. And I'm like, you for sure been putting that in there? I said, listen, I want a blood test, man. I want a blood test to find out what these levels are of this shit in my system right now. And he's like, all right. Comes back the next day, and like, he gave me some other different shit too, like, and some, like, at the time my eye was fucked up, so I was like getting oxys and shit. So I was open, yeah, I want some oxy. So I'm in there getting tortured by you. I at least wanted to get a little high out of it or something. So I go to get my meds, and instead of like the mental health shit that they were giving me with the oxys and shit, it was all gone. So I just looked at him, and I'm like, so what's up, bro? You know what I mean? And he goes, just cut the bullshit. You and I both know what's going on. And I'm like, yeah, I do. You look like a fucking idiot. You said how good your shit was working, and how good was it working, dude? You know what I mean? None was in my system. He's like, how the fuck were you doing that? He's like, my nurses are, they said that they watch you, you know, they look in your mouth. They said that sometimes you'll stand at the counter and talk to them for 20 minutes. How the fuck do you get away with it? And I'm like, listen, bro, that's how good I am, dude. I said, you guys can't handle me. I said, you guys are playing checker. I'm playing go. You know what I mean? I'm ahead of you, bro. But, yeah, I mean, to say that I'm delusional over there, they said that nothing on the internet says it's real, and I got the pad, you know what I mean? I got the contract, I got the top people saying it. Then to back off of what uh, Oklahoma State University was saying, Carl Schwartz, 16 of the top nanoscientists in the world say that the crystals that are coming out of people's skin have nano engravings from the creator of DARPA. What the fuck? You know what I mean? So the other doctor already says that there are crystals coming out of people's skin. Now, 16 of the top nanoscientists say, yo, yeah, this is where it's coming from. I have the contract to prove it, bro. You know what I mean? I have everything.
I mean, that's absolutely insane, bro. Like everything that you're talking about, like where's the document for me to see all this stuff? Or like
It's on my Facebook. Go just type in Mike saying, probably type up mold ice. It'll pop up. I'm sure one of the it's on there. I mean, if not, I'll fucking go to your. Let me go try to find it and link it and shit. I don't want to lose you again,
because
dude.
then you'll disappear again. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Stay here. Stay here. Okay, so
I'll link it to you, and anybody.
Anybody can go on my shit. How long were you in a mental hospital for? Like, how long were you imprisoned in a mental hospital?
I mean, dude, years I have been, dude. Like, together years basically.
Yeah, so you've gone back and forth. So tell me the story. How did you get put into the first one? How did you get put into jail the first time? And the story. Give me that story.
Jail multiple times, but I'm saying like when they did this shit, it was all over the Morgellon shit. It was all over my dad filed the first petition, and this is where it gets fucked up too. His buddy was ex-Navy intelligence, Charlie Ratstedt. He runs Research North Private Investigators up here. And he hires a bunch of cops to moonlight for him and break laws and shit. And when I've known him for years through Boy Scouts and stuff like that. And so when I got out of prison the first time, he tried helping me out, getting me into some college classes and shit. And this is crazy. I'm end up. Here's where it gets real into it. I'm building a sailboat, bro. It's in supposedly this sailboat. Supposedly, I swear to God, supposedly I was been told that this boat that was I was being filmed making it, and I'm like, what the fuck is this going on? You know what I mean? He goes, it's gonna be a documentary. It's gonna be shown at Cannes Film Festival. Fucking this guy Howard Rice, he trains like Navy SEALs and different shit and sailing. You could look it up. He sailed solo around South America in this sailboat, and so supposedly that boat is in the Smithsonian. I don't know none of that because I ended up getting fucked. I helped build the boat. I got no pay out of it. He fucked me over. It was a piece of shit, but he fucked me over because of this other dude. I'm late one day, and I'm like, I was talking to my mentor, Charlie Ratstedt, and I told him about, he's ex-Navy intelligence, had a major crimes division for Michigan and all this other shit. And he started getting paranoid as fuck, and he's like, whoa, what? You told my name? You told me? And he started getting up. I'm like, we're building a boat, dude. We're not selling cocaine. Like, what the fuck are you worried about, dude? You know what I mean? He freaked the fuck out. I'm like, I could see if we're fucking, cooking meth out here or something, but dude, we're building a boat. What are you talking about? And he freaked out and didn't pay me. Yeah, like I ended up, it was weird. But Charlie, I ended up telling him about all this shit. I said, listen, I'm, hearing about the TR-3B fucking Navy UFO, and that's other things for anybody watching. Dude, we had a fucking patent on a TR-3B, dude. I could show you other shit. There's in Popular Mechanics, there's a fucking 2000 article about America's nuclear flying saucer called a lenticular reentry vehicle. There's pictures of it. I mean, unreal. When they're showing a triangle-shaped UFO on Fox around Navy ships, and we have an operational patent that Caesar Pius and other people say is completely operational, and he's the inventor. Like, duh, we got the shit. You know what I mean? Like, come on, dude, quit gaslighting. I'm just, oh man, I don't know. I got sidetracked.
Well, I mean,
there.
how much of that do you think is used not to be put out so that they can do this idea of like going from Project Blue Book to going to Project Blue Beam, which Project Blue Book is the study from 1950 to 1990 something, and then Project Blue Beam supposedly is this idea of putting UFOs in the sky, and that everybody is going to come together and go under one world order. So what do you think about all that?
I've showed videos. If I didn't, I'll go back and look. If I didn't actually share it with everybody, I'll find who I shared it with in Messenger, and I'll try to share it. But there's definitely crazy holographic. Like, I just saw one. I saw them years ago that were crazy. Somebody shared, but just saw a couple that were absolutely nuts. Where somewhere in a city, it showed like everybody in the city like going, "What the fuck?" and like looking up, and it looks like whales, like big blue whales, are swimming through the fucking sky. And I'm like, "Holy shit!" Shows them like diving down. I mean, it looks real, dude. It looks legit. And then
I believe that video was CGI, but I'm not sure, and I'd have to like reference because I saw a video that described how it was made. But I could be wrong. I'm just saying.
If it isn't, I know that they have that like that, because even back in the 80s, all the triangle UFO sightings in Belgium, and the documents on that, they talk about whether it could have been holographic technology then. You know what I mean? So the fact that 40 years later, it's not a possibility is, come on.
I think that if they did just like drones, like, I mean, they do have drones now, and you can put drones in like big lumps. Even if they were to do that on some level, that you could have these like maybe like super powerful bright drones that you can't see the stuff, and because the lights are so bright, and then they could do some cool shit. It goes up and down, it flies really quickly. And maybe, I don't know, if they put some jets on it, and it goes even faster. And I don't know, so dude,
This is okay. I'm getting squarely out. For anybody who does think I'm crazy right now, keep in mind, he called me 10 minutes before this. We had no plan, and I had just woke up. I'm out camping. Smoked a lot of indica this morning, and wasn't prepared. So I am getting squirrely and whatever. So while I was at U of M, and they're saying that shit, they give us a tablet, like in a real secure part where they had me, and like to calm people down. So I finally figured, I might as well get a tablet, listen to some music, try to get some C528 healing energy or something. So I grab it, started, and then I thought, they got podcasts on here. Let me Google podcasts about Morgellons. They're saying there's nothing on the internet about Morgellons. Man, there's podcasts about Morgellons at U of M after they just literally said I'm delusional. Find a podcast called Discovering the Truth with Dan Duvall. Dan Duvall out of Texas. He's a minister down there or something. He's got some type of ministry. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. It's been years, but and I wish I could remember the woman he had on. But he had this woman on, and they were talking about Morgellons disease, and then they were talking about quantum healing, like epigenetics type of stuff, where you just think you're healed. You know what I mean? All is mind is all is one, one is all. And so in the thing, they say they'd start talking about this dude, Gordy Rose, supposedly privately owned company, but it's DARPA and it's NASA funded and shit. So it's, super shady. But they were saying back then, and he was calling his private company, but saying that he had quantum computers so strong, and this is like in 2019 or something, that he could open portals to parallel dimensions and send machines through to mine them for material. That was like what he was saying. And I'm like, yo, okay, if you could do that, that's basically the premise of a quantum computer, is they're accessing different dimensions. So ask Google, is my brain more powerful than a quantum computer? Yeah, dummy. It's like more powerful than 60. So
All right, I have to stop you there because I do not believe that quantum computers are actually going to another universe. What
another
they are doing, on
dimension,
the other hand,
another
is
dimension.
what?
They're accessing another dimension. I didn't say universe, another dimension.
They're not
That's
accessing another
literally
dimension.
what that's literally what this dude says, and he's got a DARPA contract. So
I mean, from what I understand on what they're doing is they're just doing mathematical calculations on a different one of the accesses. So, like if you're doing math usually on an XY math, they're doing math on multiple strands at the same time, and that's what makes it a quantum mathematical calculation. I could be wrong about that. I'm not trying to. I'm not. Listen, Mike. Every time that I jump in and I do that, I am not trying to challenge you or like.
I understand.
I'm just putting in my little 2 cents of what I've heard. That's all.
I understand, and I have no problem with debate about anything. I'm not with anybody.
And by the way, secondly, there has been a massive amount of comments here that are just totally in your favor. And oh my God, you're keeping it real. David Charles is like, he's talking about the fake invasion. When we were talking about Project Blue Team, he says everything that we knew we've had today, we've had in the government, had for at least 50 years. Like the old saying goes, there's nothing new under the sun.
Exactly.
So yeah, I just want you to know, there's no one here that thinks you're crazy or think. If anything,
if they do,
yeah, you're maybe eccentric, but you're not delusional and you're not crazy. So let's keep going.
Thank you, and I mean, I appreciate the validation, but and again, to anybody out there, I apologize for anything offensive. If I come off offensive, I know that sometimes I'm a little rough on the edges, and I know that I'm not perfect. I'm trying to be perfect. So, you know, I don't think I got all the answers. I think I got, you know, some good ideas. Like, you know, the co-op shit. Like, I don't know why. If your thoughts have mass and they affect reality, then why wouldn't, you know, we all want to be on the same page? And then, I mean, just even to realize that if your thoughts do affect reality, and they can show cameras where they can show you thinking a loving, healing thought, and like even being on the other side of a wall, like that energy leave my heart and go to your heart. They can show that on cameras. Like I've seen those videos where they show. So if you can see that happening, you know it's happening, then why would I want to think any kind of negative vibe about you at all and hurt you? If I think, you know, and that's again where does this circle end and the spiral begin? Because, like, you know, here's how deep I try to really think about this in my forgiveness and love for people. You know, as much as I'm not okay with any type of, you know, murder or anything, sex assault, anything, but to me, if you've thought the thought, if your thoughts affect reality, then if you thought the thought, you're guilty, man. You are a murderer. You never thought, I'm gonna kill that motherfucker. Yeah, you have. You didn't look at some dude that, or a girl didn't look at a guy that, you know, didn't want to fuck her. I didn't look at a girl that didn't want to fuck me and think, oh, no, bend the, oh, you know, come on, man. You're a rapist, dude. You're a murderer. You're fucking everything. You're telling me you've never looked at a fucking underage girl that you didn't know was underage, even maybe because she's eating all these fucking hormone food, and you thought, damn, look at the ass on her, and then somebody's like, dude, she's 15, and you're like, holy fuck, I'm a pedophile, dude, what the fuck, you know, like, not, come on, you know, if you've thought the thought, you're guilty. I've tried to, like, again, I don't want to, like, I feel like the path that I went down in life was because I was ostracized and pushed out, which, dude, I was an all-star in 3 sports. I had like a 60-yard punt in a game against Traverse City. Like, my coach called me the jack of all trades. I led the team in tackles, like hits like 7 home runs in one baseball game, got called out on the last one, said I didn't touch home plate. I'm like, dude, I shouldn't have to run around the bases. When I step up, just chalk it up, dude. Like, come on. That's crazy. But to kick me out of school over, like, they just knew that I was smoking weed, and they didn't even catch me. Like, I was with Nick Fettig. I remember being with Nick Fettig up on the football field, smoking weed, and we thought we before school even, and we thought, who's our friend, Jay, I don't keep dropping names, but I thought it was a couple of our friends, and I look up, and all of a sudden it's our track coach and gym teacher, and I'm wearing this bright ass green Tommy Hilfiger vest. It was Xander Kieswatter's. His parents owned Petoskey Plastics, and last I knew they owned Woods Dispensary, but a little rich kid. Oh, I was wearing that shit, and it's just bright fluorescent green, and I'm in the snow, dude. Like, I stand out like crazy, so I like try to turn things out and run through the pine trees, fucking try to hide it. We lose them, which I don't know how, in this deep snow. And the track coach, Mr. Baldus, he's like 6'5", had these long legs. We're in middle school. We outrun him. We hide, and it's before school, so we hide. I had all my weed and everything, and all I had, I had some cough medicine or something because I had a cold, and it was codeine shit. But I was so young back then, like I didn't even know. Like I literally got it prescribed for a cold. Like I didn't know I wasn't abusing it. Had that, and had the prescription for it even. And I was just getting to school, so. This is how, when I got there, they pulled me in the office, and this is crazy. They strip searched us even, dude. No parents present, strip searched us. They called his parents, tell his parents they just caught us smoking weed, even though they don't find no weed, no nothing. Tell his parents they caught him smoking weed with me or whatever. So none of the little preppy kids could hang out with me anymore. You know what I mean? None of the little kids with money. Everybody knew I was a pothead. Their parents knew I was a pothead. Nobody wanted me, hang out with me. My dad made me start going to AA meetings and shit, fucking NA meetings, and I just, started getting worse. You know what I mean? I started.
So you think that basically, like, even though everybody else was smoking pot and they were all doing it, you got in trouble for it, so you got forced to go to the AA meetings, and you, in essence, got pushed to be like you felt like the black sheep because everybody else pushed you out, even though they were doing it, and then you got pushed.
Hell yeah, and then still even the drugs, like it's crazy as hell. All the people that talk shit about drugs around here, and then they're doing them and selling them. Like there's a story, Lisa Peel story, dude. The first female police officer up here. There's a book about her, the Lisa Peel story. She got killed. They were stealing drugs out of evidence room, selling them back on the street. Same people are still in power up here. I mean, these people are sick, dude. Scott Chamberlain, he was a cop. He used to date. He worked for the same Straits area or narcotics enforcement for Emmett County Sheriff's Department, and he was selling drugs that he took, and he was selling them to the Traverse narcotics team in Traverse City, and he got busted. They called the sheriff here, Pete Wallen, and he tried covering up. Like first, Scott Chamberlain tried claiming like, "Oh, I'm working for SAM," like tried to say it was like. So they called the sheriff here to verify it, and he's like, no, he wasn't. I don't know. Somehow he smoothed it out where they didn't charge him, but they told him to leave the state and don't come back till the statute of limitations was up. So now he's down in Florida and he's a cop. And I know all that for sure because I was dating Donna Habits at the time, and her sister was, dating the same, dating the dude. It's crazy. Yeah, I don't know.
So Donna was related to who?
Donna, her sister was dating Scott. Her sister moved down to Florida with him. Krusell Habits. Yeah. There's so many stories like that, dude. Like cops up here getting in trouble. I think it was Mike Ford was his name. One of the Fords. There was a cop up here, sheriff. Got in trouble. Doing shit with girls, like you're pulling them over, trying to bribe them to, do shit with them to get them out. I mean, this shit happens everywhere, though. I've seen it everywhere. And that's the thing. I've been to so many different jails and so many, seen all kind of corruption everywhere, man. And just documented shit where, dude, I'm not a criminal. Like, okay, I've done some drugs, dude. I'm not like, and don't get me wrong. I have, especially in my deep addiction, like, I'll admit, I've done some slime ball shit, but right now, I would never do anything physically to hurt anyone.
Okay, listen, no offense, Mike. I don't mean to cut you off again. Now, when you say slime ball shit, sure, you might have done some things, but I don't think you've done anything to the point where you might have, like, gone out of your way to physically hurt someone or out of your way to restrain someone. I don't think you've done those kind of things. You might have done some things against yourself. Or you might have done some hairy on the edge of some shit, but I don't see you as being the kind of guy that seems to be that much of an asshole.
Periods of times, I never hurt, like physically hurt. Usually, I'm like standing up to the bully. But when I have been drugged out before, I have broken into somebody's house and stole shit, or I've shit that I'm not proud of by any means. You know what I mean?
Okay,
but
again, like I said, I don't see you as a guy that you might have done some stupid shit, whatever. You were on drugs and you were running around, whatever. But I don't see you as a guy who's going with his intention in his heart to be the kind of guy. Even back then, maybe I don't know who you were, but I don't see it. I don't feel it. That's what I'm saying. I see a guy who's remorseful and a guy who looks at himself and says, "I fail more than I win." You know.
For the majority of my life, and in a majority, I would guarantee that the majority of people would have good things really to say about me that actually knew me. Like, sure, there are some people who could tell a story here and there about me being an asshole, and even in school, I can guarantee as much as I want to say I protected people against bullies, I know that I made fun of some people and I was an asshole to certain people, and I've actually had a chance where I've come into contact with people and totally apologize for how I was, like, in any form. Like, I remember I stole a girl's computer and I bumped into her dad right after I got out of prison. I had $2,000. I was about to buy a car, and I stole an Apple computer. It was definitely a $2,000 computer prize. So I said, "Listen, dude, years ago," I said, you knew that I stole that computer," and I denied it. And I said, you and I both know that I did it. So I just want to tell you I was wrong." And I said, "I got money in my pocket right now. I was going to buy a car. I just got out of prison, but I owe you that money, dude." I said, "I'm trying to do the next right thing." I said, "I always liked, you and your daughter. Your daughter never did nothing to me. I was just a fucking idiot and, needed money, needed drugs, and fucking trying to make up for it, make amends, So that's all I've been trying to do. Like, we've all made mistakes. Where does the cycle end? Where does the spiral begin? Let's build. Because right now, like, again, capitalism, this is destroying the world. Let's let's get along, man. Because we could all be rich, but we fight for. And this is crazy, man. I said this to people in prison. Like, that's why I feel like this shit happened for a reason. If you could solve a problem on a small scale, you could solve it on a big scale. I've seen the problem. It's the government. You know what I mean? You create the problem and you step in to solve it. It's a Hegelian dialect. And then, you create these imaginary problems, scarcity, and you create, if you watch Noam Chomsky's Requiem for the American Dream, even, you know what I mean? He talks about different shit that they've done, making different, like even like shit like affirmative action, or letting, if a Native American have casinos and other people don't, I mean, that creates, when there's haves and have-nots, you create a problem, dude. You create this chasm, and I just started seeing it in prison too, and I was trying to tell guys in there, like, listen, man, how many guards are running this bitch right now? You know what I mean? Maybe 200 guards. There's fucking over 1,200 guys. You know what I mean? And a bunch of you, like I've been to level 4s and all type of shit. You're supposed to be fucking killers, man. You're Bloods and Cobras and fucking we're out GDs. The fuck, let's be about it then, man. Fucking, you think these motherfuckers could hold us in this bitch if we really wanted out? Like, you're doing the laundry, you're cooking, you're cleaning. Even if you just sat down and said, "Suck my dick, man. Bring me my food. Bring me my laundry. You know what? Hey, my nuts are dirty. Come wash me, man. I'm incompetent." You know what I mean? They'd have to pay somebody to do it, bro. They got to take care of you. If they want to own you like that, let them own you, bro. Fuck it. They couldn't handle the system, bro, unless you are the system. You are the cog in the wheel. You're the one that's keeping it going. Like, I've just been telling my homeboys that are active duty. I'm linking them like, do you honestly think Biden loves you more than I do, bro? I grew up with you. I partied with you. You're fucking supporting Biden, bro. You are the man that you hated your whole life. Ben Smolinski, Bobby Brown. I mean, anybody that knows me that sees
this is what I come down to when someone makes a statement like this. I think to myself, yeah, but life has committed. I don't know what to do. I'm scared. I don't want to go to college, or I'm too stupid, or I don't know, or I want to go to college but I don't have the money, so I'd rather have a GI Bill. And I join the military, and then all of a sudden, shit, I kind of like the military. And then I stay in the military, and my mind changes. And
dude, it's all brainwashed. Like, that's what I tell. I see kids around playing video games. I tell them to get off that shit, especially kids on Call of Duty and different games like that. Like, you geek some kid up about killing people his whole life, and then, oh, you can't afford nothing? Well, here, let me give you some Monopoly money. Hey, go be a hero. Go be a hero, man. Go there and steal me some oil. Go over and steal me some fucking cocaine, some heroin. Come on, man. It's fucking sick, dude. Never would I do that shit, dude. Never would I do that shit, dude. You got the wrong one, dude. Wrong one. Yeah, I'm crazy. Yeah, I'm so crazy. Dig this, guys. I'm so crazy. They're dumping atrazine. It's a DNA mutating chemical. Look up Dr. Tyrone Hayes. He got hired by Syngenta and Monsanto to research this shit. And real talk, I'm gonna keep it real. They probably thought this dumb nigger's never gonna find this shit out. That's probably why they hired him. You know what I mean? Well, this dumb nigger found it out, and he said, "Yo, this shit's poison, y'all. What are you doing?" And they're like, "Yeah, you can't be telling people that, though." And he's like, but I'm gonna." And so they're like, "Dude, we're gonna fucking kill your daughter and your wife and rape them and shit." And he's like, "Yeah, fuck you. Dude's got integrity. Like, my brother's bitch ass will never have. You know, kill me, dude. If I know some shit like that, listen, you're dumping poison in your well, dude, for monopoly money. And then you're fucking calling me crazy because I'm telling you about it? Yeah, right, dude. I wouldn't dump poison in my well. That's about the craziest motherfucking thing I could ever think of. Like, Minnie Wachoni, McGwitch, water is life. You don't poison your well? What the fuck are you doing, dude? That's crazy. DNA mutating chemical. It's feminizing every species it comes across. It's making male frogs produce eggs and babies. It's the same shit fucking...
Wait, hold on. Like,
Dude,
the water's
how do you not
making the
know about that,
frogs
dude?
gay is real?
Yes.
The water
Yes.
is making the frogs gay is real.
Yes, 1,000%. 1,000%. Feminizing every species it comes across. It's banned. Listen to this. It's banned in every other country. Every other country. I got the DNA or the EPA 2001 study on atrazine.
Wait, then this totally goes to why they killed off fucking Alex Jones. They killed off Alex Jones with the fake story that they implanted to Alex Jones so that he would fall, so that nobody would believe him, because everything he had said up to the point of fucking Sandy Hook was fucking real. Everything he said was real. And he said the frogs was real way before Sandy Hook. He talked about fucking Bilderberg Group. He talked about 9/11. All of it. So, and look at how they shut you down. They're probably going to shut me down.
Yeah, well, I don't think they can anymore, bro. And especially, that's why I went on. You know what I mean? Especially, it was kind of funny for anybody that's watching. So after, like, I've been making these posts because now even they got this probate order on me. And now they really don't like it because everything they just said I'm delusional over beliefs in UFOs and aliens. Like, hold on, they just admitted they're real in Congress, dude. And like, I got like professors on my Facebook page that are saying the same thing, dude, and people that work for NASA. Like, dude, Robert Whiteside, I just talked to him the other day. You know, he just texted me yesterday. I've messaged Rick Doty. We're friends. Dr. Laura Eisenhower. We're friends on Facebook. I mean, there's tons of different people like that I'm friends with, and tons that I've talked to personally. Mark Steele. Mark Steele's winning in courts in England. Look up saveusnow.org.uk. Dr. Mark Steele is winning in courts in Gateshead, England. He's getting 5G towers taken down. He's getting Wi-Fi removed. He's getting LED lights removed. The LED lights is where it gets wild. They amplify the harmful frequencies and scatter them into smaller, deadlier photons, like some Martian weapon shit, dude. The towers are deadly. They're known. They're uninsurable. They're known deadly. Ionizing radiation is microwaving us to the ground. They say it's an extinction level event. The pollinators, everything. But then, man, yeah. There's just so much. There's so much. Dr. Robert Duncan, he worked for DARPA. He testified at the Senate Intelligence Committee a couple years ago. He was on a radio show called Dark to Light with Dr. Laura Eisenhower, and he said that back then that he got called to testify in front of the Intelligence Committee, and they were so dumb, actually more on Intelligence Committee, that he said that they didn't even know about MK Ultra and shit like that, programs from the 70s. And so he said he looked over at the guy that he was there to testify with, and he's like, dude, he said, if these guys don't know about some shit from the 70s, they're going to be lost when we start talking about V2K and remote neural monitoring and shit now, you know? And, he said that we're in an extinction level event right now. He said birthing of a new species, transhumanism. And I mean,
100%. I've been talking about this in a lot of my episodes. Whoa. I've been saying this in a lot of my episodes that unfortunately I feel as though I'm turning into a transhumanist, because the only way that we are going to survive the future of what's coming to us in the next 4 to 5 years when they unleash artificial general intelligence on the world is something unlike anybody has ever felt or known before. It's going to be the most mind-blowing thing that people are not willing or ready to accept yet. Because if you think that, ooh, it's so funny, I could write one sentence and I can get a picture, you think that's cool. Wait until that is connected to virtual reality or into nanotechnology, in which you can change the chemicals and the neural synapses that's happening in your brain while you're playing a video game, and that's only 10 years away.
oh, dude, it's not even that, dude. Not even. Yeah. Yeah, not even close to like. For whoever your viewer was that said this, like, you know, whatever they've had for, you know, 50 years or whatever. That's something even my brother told me years back. You know, he said, listen, anything that they are telling you that they got, they got like 1,000 years ahead of that. And he said, pretty much anything they're showing on a movie is real, and they're just trying to get you ready for it.
That was from, remember that movie with Will Smith where he gets caught, he's running around, the guy's like, read the newspaper, and if you read into what it's telling you the truth about what's actually happening, and they have to, like, so on and so forth.
How about this? Are you hip to like the Seth Rogen being a time traveler shit? If you've never heard nothing about that, go look up a podcast on Seth Rogen being time traveler. It's all this different clips from The Simpsons that like are predictive programming shit, like Trump coming down the elevator with different stuff like that, where it's literally exact type of shit, like different signs that were there and all different. I just saw one that was wild that I never noticed. Homer with a cell phone, but the cell phone actually had 3 cameras in the back, like an iPhone. Fucking, I like that. Wow. There's a bunch that are like, okay, but some are really like, what the fuck? The one that blew my mind is like, bro, get the fuck right out of here, bro. There's an episode where Homer is like doing, it's like Goodwill Hunting, where he's like Matt Damon up at the chalkboard and he's fucking writing. He sees a equation, he comes up and solves it, and it's the exact equation for the God particle.
Yeah, that they figured out like 10 years later.
Yeah,
and it's absolutely insane.
Right.
So there's a couple of those. When you first said it, when you said Joe Rogan, I was like, no, not Joe Rogan.
No, I said Seth Rogen.
Yeah. And then I didn't hear you. But yes, the guy who made The Simpsons, it either is a time traveler or is the most coincidental artist of all time ever.
Yeah, and for anybody that likes Rogan, another friend of mine, KWH Olin, I think is how it is. He's an author. He's done some podcasts and stuff too. He sent me some information where Rogan is funded by Rockefellers, and Rogan is definitely not about telling the truth, dude. I called him out, and I called out David Rodriguez, the 13th heavyweight fighter in the world, was friends with me on Facebook recently, and now we're not. He blocked me after, I simply called him out and asked him, like, listen, he's doing a podcast with Rogan, and I said, listen, if you're doing a podcast with Rogan, you got friends like that, you got connections like that, like, to me, get the fuck off my page, like, if you're not about sharing the truth, because I've shared this shit with you and Rogan, and you guys don't want to share it. Like, Rogan's done a podcast on Morgellons. When I'm giving you all the information about Morgellons, like, why aren't you sharing it, bro? Like, because obviously you're a huckster. That's what you are. So I started calling him out and Joe out. Like, both of them are just selling crypto and doing all that. I'm like, bro, you guys are hucksters, man. Sell your boat. You're a huckster, bro. And like I said, you clearly, bro, and clearly, especially from signs and symbols and for the conscious mind, they flash some symbols and shit. I said, you guys are, you're down with that satanic pedo shit, bro. And I'm like, I don't care how big you are, bro. I'll say that shit to your big dumb face, bro. Fuck you. Like, I guarantee that shit's real. If you're not calling them out like that, when I'm giving you all this information, when you're not willing to share it, bro, and then when I just called you out and just asked why at first, like I'm just saying why, bro. Like, it wasn't being a dick. Like, if you called me out, call me out, bro. I'll give you a reason. But to block me and then, like, that shows your colors then. I mean, okay, then you're down with that shit, bro. That's why, because you ain't for what I'm saying. You ain't for what you're saying. So I need to
And I go
smoke
again, what it comes down to is like towing the rope, towing the line, because you don't want to lose your level of connection. You don't want to lose your ability to have conversations with those quote unquote people. I don't know, it's a weird place to go. Like, what if for instance, let's just say, for instance, what if I was able to get an interview with Putin?
Yeah.
Would you be pissed off if I put him on?
No, why? What do you mean? I tried getting hold of fucking Kim Jong-un, bro. Swear to God I did.
I mean, I would want to have, like, where's the conversation with Putin? Who's had that conversation? Nobody.
I mean,
or even like a conversation with Kim Jong-un. Who's had that open conversation?
Dennis Rodman, man. Him and Dennis Rodman were probably, they were probably doing some weird stuff together, but whatever.
Who knows, right? Like, that's the thing. That's the thing, my friend. Like, I don't know what we really know is. I mean, obviously some shit's going on, but we don't know exactly what shit's going on. We got an idea,
but
and it doesn't look pretty.
When I read all that shit though about like even their esoteric knowledge that supposedly, like, people say satanic shit, like H.P. Blavatsky and shit like that. Like, the thing that like a bunch of the Manly P. Hall shit, H.P. Blavatsky.
There's great stuff. There's a great documentary on YouTube that's called In Plain Sight, The City Streets of Washington. And if you go watch it, dude, it's esoteric. It's all kinds of crazy. There's a pentagram in the streets that are laid out. There's the pyramid, and inside the eye of the pyramid, like right at the center of that, where the pyramid is the 33rd degree temple in Washington. So there's some weird shit.
Some people, if you're hip to stuff like that, and you were mentioning the thing about the numbers, I want you to go look at a site too called Illuminati WordPress, Illuminati Matrix at WordPress. And whoever, a couple of your people, if you got somebody watching that's good at deciphering code and looking at stuff, it's wild. It's really wild. It talks about like that we are in like a matrix, that we're it says a lot of different shit, like different stuff to do with
it's called magic, Illuminati Code WordPress.
No, Illuminati Matrix at WordPress. The Illuminati Matrix at WordPress.com. I think that's what it is. And it's got so much different shit on there, dude. There's a one that I haven't looked at all. Like the one that was there years ago is gone now, but there's still. I looked at this one. It must be by the same person because some of it is the same shit. But there was a map on there before this wild that like showed like it showed like different connections biblically to like people. Like showed how it showed. Go look. I know they say that this isn't true, but go look at a picture of Aleister Crowley and then go look at a picture of George Bush's mom. You know what I mean? That's her dad, bro. I don't care. It's not Aleister Crowley. She's on her mom. Was it something Barbara Pierce or something? Something Pierce. Pauline Pierce. Pauline Pierce went with. She was married to whoever the Pierce dude was. She left with Crowley and did some order the templo, some whatever, sex ritual, and came back pregnant, and she had bush, dude. Like, if you look at her and you look at her, I mean, she had the Pierce had Bush's mom, and if you look at the two, I mean, dude, there's no denying it, dude. Like, you don't need Maury for this one, y'all. Like, it's official. So they show stuff like that, and then they talk about these weird like connections, like wordplay shit, like Trump Pence, like in the Bible, the trumpets, Trump Pence.
Not to
There was
cut you
all
off again, I'm sorry, but I always saw the picture of the kid who used to be the singer who was killed, who was going to put out the Black Book. He looked just like his, not like his father, but the John Podesta, I think is who it was. Like, they looked identical with the glasses and everything.
Oh, you talking about one of the musicians, right? You're talking about fucking.
I think it was the kid from Linkin Park, the lead
Yeah,
singer.
no. You're talking about it's
And he looked so much more like the guy that was part of Pizzagate and some stuff and all that. He looked like his dad. That was like, you don't need no DNA for that
one. It was, dude. It was. I saw a thing on that. What? God, it's killing me. I can't think of his name right now. I have it written down in there because, oh my God, was it? Oh my God. Yeah.
And there's other stories like that, like the story of
have you seen that video, dude, where Podesta's like raping the kids and shit?
Hold on. The story of what's his name, man? Not James Heydrich, but the guy they made the movie Bloodsport about.
Oh, Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah, no, not Jean-Claude, but the actual real guy. I always forget, why do I always forget his name?
My homeboy was in drug treatment with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Anyways, the point here is the story is that guy, his mom and dad were part of the CIA. And then another one that's really trippy to me is the kid that was involved at the movie theater when the Batman whole thing, that kid with the crazy hair. His dad was part of some kind of CIA thing, supposedly about making the super soldier type of Snickers or a food or something weird within that realm of weird. So now my question is this, like, where are you, you're like, where are you at now, and what are like your plans for the future? What do you want to do from where you're at right now? If you could have anything, dude, like literally anything, you would want to what? Go to a place where you could live, eat, and have like a farm where other people could come join, or you want to do something else?
Somebody cash at me the money. I'm trying to put together some shit. I'm trying to get Mark Farner right now. Mark Farner, I've known him for years. I'm trying to get Mark Farner to come with me. I want to have a hunger strike on Capitol Hill and die for everybody, man. For free Julian Assange, free justice for the five. My buddy Will Goodman, this dude's a theologian. He just got him and 4 other people got sentenced like federally under the FACE Act for protecting innocent kids, man. They volunteer for Red Rose Rescue Project and try to protect innocent lives, and it's okay to murder a baby and not okay to protect a baby. I can't be okay with that kind of world, man. So I'm trying to entice Mark Farner, but if not, like, just enough to get me there, and I want somebody to film. I want somebody to be there to document it, and I'll have a hunger strike with some signs. I want some signs made, like what's going on, what I'm doing it for. Free Julian Assange, free justice for the five. Shit about DARPA, about all this bullshit, and just fuck it. You know what I mean? I don't care anymore. You know what I mean? Because I can't be down with a world like that. For me to be called crazy because I'm telling you you're poisoning your well.
And as far as like social medias are concerned, where people can find you and people can connect to you, where would they do that?
Dude, you can't really. They've taken everything. I don't even have a phone, dude. They're blocking my phone right now. I got this Facebook that is so censored. It's all I got, really. I got a Twitter
account. Open to the public? Is your Facebook open to the public?
Oh, it's definitely open to the public. Yeah, it's open to the public. And I can't make live videos. I can't do any of that. So I'm surprised I can do this. It's probably because it's only, I didn't even think to do this off somebody else's shit before. But yeah, I can't make live videos. I can't, it says I'm supporting terrorism. People say that there's like a bell one next to my shit. I've got screenshots where they show me there's like a bell next to my shit.
Right.
And,
Well,
yeah.
man, I'm happy that we were able to give you a platform today, and you were able to
Me
talk
too,
and
man.
at least put your point of view out there, and have somebody that was willing to kind of challenge you a little bit here and there on ideas. Not that I was
Yeah.
thinking that you were wrong or anything, like I said, but just as a way to show everybody else that you're not incompetent, you're not delusional. I mean, you don't act delusional. You might seem a bit stressed. You might seem a bit over the top, like I said, eccentric. I mean, but that's not crazy. That's not delusional. And everything that you said was concise. You said it with as much memory as you could give. Even when you said things that you said you weren't sure, you said you weren't sure. So I mean, how much more can you ask from somebody? And by the way, as you were going, I kept typing things in the comments down below so that people can look up every single thing you mentioned. If you want to go through there and watch the video later and maybe add it or spell it correctly or add the website, whatever, bro, please, it's my pleasure. I will post this on YouTube again. Mike, dude, what an amazing episode. By the way, today we had at one point, I believe 15 or 11 people live all at the same time watching. We've had a congruent of 3 or 5 people the entire time of the show. So this was the best live episode I've had so far. So thank you for being here. Thank you for coming and watching and being part of it. And thank you, man.
Sending love and healing vibes to everybody, man.
So good, man. Thank you. We'll see you later, okay?
Yep.
All right. Amazing. 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 What a crazy, awesome, what a left field episode, because obviously I had somebody planned for today. She wrote to me, she signed up on the calendar and everything, and then out of nowhere I called her like 3 hours before, nothing. 2 hours before, nada. 30 and 20 and 10, and I'm freaking out in the meantime. But Mike wrote to me before and says I would like to be on. And it was like, whoa, and I was like, please, please, please. And he's like, I don't know. And then I was like, please, please, please. And oh my God, what an amazing episode. So how random is life, right? Like how random are all these that like lead you down this thing that in the end gets you to this place where it's like you're in a whole different space and like, wow. Oh man. My friend David says the Illuminati Matrix site on WordPress was taken down on May. Maybe, David Charles, if you use the website called Wayback Machine, the Wayback Machine, what it does is it automatically copies websites and whatever was on the main pages. So if you go to the Wayback Machine and type in that website, it might pop up. And Mike says, I have some copies on paper. So we're going to have to find a way to re-upload the information to the internet basically and put it on a blog of some sort. So, War Castle NWO on YouTube is another place. Mike's coming in and throwing in a bunch of new info. Thank you, Mike, again for being a guest today. Guys, what amazing. What? Like, for all those people who are like, oh, you don't have like, I've always heard people like, oh, the Bilderberg group this or the that, but they don't have any kind of like stuff. At least he's coming with like a bunch of like websites that you can at least look at. I'm not saying you have to believe any of this information from any of the guests, from anybody who comes here. You know, you do you. You know, but look it up, and then also look up the stuff that goes on the absolute other side of whatever he says. And that's no offense to Mike, but there might be something like, you know, whatever. You got to be informed, not just from one point of view, but from all points of view, right? I would hope that that would make a whole of this matrix that's around us, because what do we know what's really going, you know? We don't. David comes back and says, try live streaming on Twitch. It started off as a site for gamers, but a lot of people go there live stream as well. I have quite a few friends that podcast there. David Charles, I also just had a friend of mine who is a very, very big Twitch streamer, and he was on here just a couple days ago, and it was the first time he ever took off his mask and did both people on the same feed. I had a exclusive, as they call them, which was cool, very cool. And I had a Twitch stream at one point. I was doing something called the Metaverse Extract, and my concept was this idea of like a show where I would, you know, make, you know, an episode on each thing that I found on the internet that I thought was cool, that was coming out, that was fun. And this was before anybody else was doing it. And I think I made about 20-something episodes. It's still on Facebook as a channel and a page. It's still on YouTube. It's called Metaverse Extract. And if you just look that up, I'm sure you'll find it. It's a little blue Metaverse logo. And you can go watch the episodes. I should have continued, but I didn't. I did this instead. So with that, my friends, it says this. One, and I'm not going to do the ending yet. Don't judge a book by its cover. Everybody has something honest and beautiful to give to this world, and there's no reason not to learn something from the information that was gathered today. That's it. And with that information, please go out into the world and do something nice for somebody else. And if you can't, then do something nice for yourself. It does start with you. Number two, don't get caught up in every single crazy little thing, because if you do, then you're ending up all over. You can't do that. Calm, sedated love. It's the only way. And number three, if you wouldn't mind, please like, share, subscribe. Send this out to somebody who would like to see it, hear it, feel it, know it. And if you wouldn't mind, share it right now, because that would make the algorithm go boom through the roof, and then more people will see it. So it's simple. As a matter of fact, I would like to share that yesterday we got triple the amount of views that we normally do. There are videos now that are down below that have 500 and I think 200, 300, 400 views, and that's all because people are watching these later, which is like wow, you know, mind blowing. And I said, really love you. And then my cousin Shelly Pawlowski is watching. It said, I love you, Shelly. I love it. It said I love you, Shelly. I love you, Shelly. I think that's what she wanted. I don't know. And with that, I love you all. I love you all. And I will see you all on the other side.